Go ahead and sit there. One of my peers.
Sure.
Sergeant
Hi,
Andrew.
Tiffany, nice to meet you.
He's actually in here to sit in with us, and this interview will be recorded.
Sure, I'm gonna record as well.
Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and get started here. This is Sergeant Randy Knockin with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department here at Chino Hills. With me in the room is Sergeant Dan Babel with San Bernardino County Sheriff's in Chino Hills, and Tiffany Gomez. Today's date is November 7th, 2017, and the time right now is 9:17. All right. Tiffany, I'm gonna get to some just some quick information from you, because I know that we have most of the information, but yeah, I just want to make sure our information is accurate, okay? And do you go by Tiffany Gomez or Tiffany Hansen?
I go by
Which
Nini
one?
Hansen, but.
By what?
Nini, I don't go by Tiffany, but I go by
Okay.
Nini, and Hansen's my maiden name, trying to get it back.
Okay, so what, if you had
But
a driver's
legally, it's
license?
Gomez, Tiffany Gomez.
Okay. Do you have a middle name or anything?
Jean,
Jean?
J-E-N.
And what's your date of birth?
12/28/80.
And what's your current address?
Oh, I didn't bring that with me. I just moved there. I don't.
Oh, you just went there?
I can
Okay.
send it to you.
All right, and a phone number that you can be reached.
909-272-1156.
1156. Okay, yeah, if we can get your address
Sure.
at a later
Yeah,
time, if
I
you
can send it to you
me,
today.
that would be great. Okay, the reason why we're here is because you filed a complaint against the Sheriff's Department,
Yes.
Chino Hills Station, and a few of the deputies that are here.
Yes.
And basically, I'm gonna go ahead and list off the complaints that you had,
Okay.
and then we'll go ahead and talk about everything, okay?
Mhm.
The first thing you complained, you claimed is that you were arrested without committing a crime and denied due process.
Mhm.
You claimed that you did not give consent for male deputies to search you.
Correct.
You claimed that you were forced by deputies to make a confession.
Yes. Several
You
times.
were denied your Miranda warning after arrest. You claimed that the deputies failed to complete an assault report.
Correct.
Claimed the deputies evicted you from your home and denied you the right to receive your property.
Correct.
You also claimed that the deputies broke into your home,
Correct.
and you claimed that your children were kidnapped by the deputies.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, perfect. All right, I just want to make sure, is there anything else that maybe I'm missing?
Yeah, he removed Deputy Julian, or whatever his name is. He removed custody of my children and put my son in custody of my brother, Ben Hansen, who your Sheriff's Department arrested 19 days prior for child abuse.
Okay, so Deputy Gann removed which one of the
Jacob.
kids?
Jacob.
From your custody.
Yes. And then this is on the 25th of August, after he told me that I could pick my son up from school.
And when was that, August?
25th, the day that he threw me out of my property. He told me he was going to press criminal trespassing on me if I didn't leave immediately.
Okay, and you said it was taken from your custody and given to Benjamin,
Yes,
is that right?
Hansen.
And who is Benjamin Hansen?
He's my brother, but he was arrested on August 6th for willful cruelty, or PC 237A and B. And he admitted guilt. And for the record, I'd like to say I wasn't the one that called the police, someone else did.
Okay.
And I even asked the sheriffs that they could not arrest him because I knew what would happen after I would be on the streets with my children.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk about everything. I just want to kind of get everything, not necessarily in chronological order. I want to kind of go by the complaints that you have.
Mhm.
So do me a favor and explain exactly what happened on August 28th. Where were you living that day?
I was residing at Motel 6. I had, I moved there on the 25th after I was kicked out of the house.
Okay.
And on the 28th at noon, CPS came with LAPD and removed my children
Okay, so
And-
they took your children out of the Motel 6?
because I had them with their father the date that they took my one son out of school. The younger ones are with their father.
Okay.
They have a different dad.
Okay.
And on the 26th, I got the children back because I was trying to secure a roof over the heads of everybody. So I went and got them back from their dad. And the next day on the 28th is when, or 2 days later on the 28th, is when we had just got back from swimming and everybody was getting changed, and the police department came and with the social worker and said that they were removing the children for emotional abuse. And
Okay.
I didn't consent to that as well. And I just calmed the children, you know, and convinced them that everything would be okay. I'll get to the bottom of it. And
Okay.
then I loaded up everything from the hotel, and I didn't even ask for a refund. I had 3 more days there. And I went to the park. I was upset. I didn't know what to do, so I drove around and I had nowhere to go. So I went to what I'm familiar with, is Butterfield Park, and I took a blanket, and I just thought, okay, I'm hysterical. I have to calm myself to find out, you know, what's going on. And I sat on the blanket, and I couldn't breathe, you know, so much boogers and tears. And I made a phone call to my husband and told him that the CPS took the kids, and he just started yelling at me and called me stupid bitch. And
Okay.
I was like, I've been asking you for a month to help me, and now it's my fault. Then I called my mother, Tess Hansen, and I said, crying, my God, they took the kids. What's going on? And she says, where are you at? She just kept asking me where I was at. And I said, I'm at the park. I gotta find out what's going on. I gotta figure this out. And I hung up on her because she just wanted to know where I was, and it didn't strike me as odd. And then my phone rang, an odd number, a blocked number, and it was a man, and he asked where I was at, and I said, who is this? And he didn't answer, and then I just hung up the phone, and then I was looking on the phone to see who I was going to call, or I was looking on the internet to find out the information for CPS, how to get a hold of them.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, I have the officers surrounding me with guns, saying my name and asking me if I'm going to shoot down an elementary school. And I just was shocked, but I saw myself getting shot, so I just put my hands forward and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no weapon. These are keys. This is my water bottle. That is not true. And so then they just started asking me questions, and then they asked me to stand up, and I still had my hands in the air. And I said, can I pull up my pants? Because my underwear was hanging out the back, and so they said yes. And next thing, they asked me if I was had been drinking or under any drugs or under the influence of anything. I said no. And then they came to my side and they asked to feel my pulse. I put my arm out and they did. And I told them that I have Graves' disease. I have a very low pulse, low blood pressure. And I said it's gonna be, he couldn't find the pulse in the beginning. And then I said it's gonna be really low, like 40 or 50. And then the other officer came into my left side, so I have both officers holding my arms out, checking for a pulse.
Okay.
And then they asked me to stare up in the sky. Kind of felt like it was a crucifixion. They had me stare up in the sky and close my eyes, but it was noonish, you know, dead, and the sun was in my eyes. And they were asking me why my eyelids were fluttering. I said, because the sun is in my eyes. I mean, it's bright. And then they asked me to count to 30 in my head and let me know when it's 30.
Okay.
And so I said, okay. And then I started counting, and then they said, wait, not yet. And so I stopped. And then they asked me to put my arms now down to my sides and my feet together. And I said, okay, this is, okay, so I did it. It was like an uncomfortable position, but I did it. And I started to count and felt like I was embarrassed. First of all, I was at a park and they're surrounding me. And I caught off guard. So I counted to 27, I guess. And he says, "Oh, she's under the influence. That was premature to 30." And I was like, "You crazy." So he then put me